I wanted to first introduce you and just give everyone in the group who's not familiar with you, kind of like your transition throughout the group because you came in and you did different things in digital marketing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it all started back. I was working in corporate. They did pretty much billions of dollars in revenue as their marketing manager. So I was like primarily doing SEO there, but managing their AdWords campaigns and stuff like that. All their marketing channels actually. And then so I started doing my own thing. So I joined a group and was doing rank and rent. So build the sites first and then rent them out.
Hmm.
And so, we were having some success with that. We're probably doing like a deal a month, I would say, at one point. Then we found Nick in his group, and Nick's sales process was just like super killer, right? So, we ended up doing like 9 deals, I think, the first month we started working with Nick. And so we got really good at, closing, rank and rent deals. And a lot of the way, so we were doing it through the ads, but also we were partnering up with other people that had properties that needed to be sold. So that's the way we were keeping our inventory
Mm.
going, partnering up with people. And yeah, we were selling doing a bunch of deals. Eventually, yeah, with Nick's method, we got up to like 55K at one point total for our agency. Top line revenue, we had a little bit of problems with the rank and rent, lost some, I'm sure everyone went through this with the review apocalypse came and lost a bunch of rankings there. So we started doing some SEO as well, and we started adding SEO. We kind of fought our way back, so we're at like that 45K right now. But looking to scale and try to hit the million by next year, and then try to or the million annual top line revenue, and trying to shoot for 3 million in 2 or 3 years. It's the main goal.
Well, I like that you actually have, something to look forward to. Like you have these goals. The 1 year plan is 1 million and the 2 year plan is 3 million.
Yeah, ideally. So
Yeah, and
we'll
right
see
now
if it
you're at
happens.
45.
We'll see if it happens, right? But just
Yeah,
trying to backwards engineer my way into that spot.
absolutely. So right now you're at half a million, 500K plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of doubling your effort.
If it was
And
that easy though, like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, doubling, but it compounds eventually. Like once you get to a certain point, like your money starts to work for you, and you kind of like your properties start to work for you, and you create this momentum. And it doesn't take
Hmm.
as much effort. But you're right. I'm still in there too. I think we're at, I don't know, 50 right now. I don't know what we did last month, but
Awesome.
50
Yeah.
something. But yeah, it's just we're still at that like uphill battle. But once you
Right.
get to a certain point, yeah, it gets easier from there.
Well, one thing I noticed, I remember listening colloquially, I guess just like what I've heard from
Mhm.
other agencies, right? Like yours and mine's, and everyone, all our peers, right? There seems to be like these tiers that everybody gets stuck at, right? So like the first one is like getting your first deal, right? That's like super hard. Then kind of like from the first deal to like that 5K mark, it's like a big struggle. And then from the 5 to like the 10K mark, it's kind of easy. And then you get stuck again. You get stuck again at like that 10 to 15.
Yes.
And then after you figure that out, then you have a pretty big jump, I think, from that 5 to 15. I think it's pretty easy to like post to like 40, 50. And then a lot of people get stuck here, right?
Mhm.
Myself included. Like we've been here for a few years now. Yeah. So, and it's all about like, you just need a bigger team and,
Right.
and you got to take that risk to grow, and
Absolutely.
invest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
So,
milestones, you're absolutely right about those milestones. The 10K milestone is hard. Oh, yeah, we mentioned the first deal. Absolutely. The first rank and rent deal, I took me, I don't know, like a year and a half, something crazy, like failing and going back to other services until it finally clicked. And you're absolutely
this,
right. The first deal was my biggest struggle. And I remember
mhm.
it was, what was it? It was a stucco deal, actually. And I remember it was
Okay.
$200 a week. That was my first deal. $200 a week. So that's $800 a month. And I was so happy because that was so much money. Like I'm making 800 out of this guy. That is a lot of money. And then you look
Look,
at now, you're like charging, 500, 600, 700 a week. And yeah, you definitely have a completely different mindset from when you close your first deal to the 10K, and then a different mindset from 10K to 20K. And then I think after 20K, it kind of gets a little easier. Like it's not hard to go from 20 to 30 as it is from 10 to 20.
or even getting your first deal.
Right, or getting your first deal. Absolutely. Yeah, I think for me, after 20K, things got easier. I think it's just a rinse and repeat process. And that's what we keep saying in the group is it's the rinse
Mm.
and repeat process. Like, for example, me, even if I see that a deal, it might not make it, I can see like a couple of red flags. I still go with the deal just to put in the reps. I still do the screencast. I still sit on the meeting. I do all the objections, even though I know this guy is not really on board. I already sniffed him out, but I give it a full shot because I know that's good practice.